Hello St. Mary's and welcome to a very glamorous Oscars edition of SMC Style Watch. I'm your host Tori Spencer, and believe me, I will not be as critical as Seth MacFarlane was on Sunday night. So if you are anything like me, Sunday night was extremely magical for you because it was the Academy Awards ceremony. And even though it almost lasted 4 hours long, cutting into my bedtime and my productivity, I got nothing done that night. It was probably one of the best awards shows I've seen, and definitely best this awards season. I didn't know if it could get much better than Amy Poehler and Tina Fey hosting the Golden Globes. I'm pretty sure that's what they hosted the first night of award season. But despite what others think, I thought Seth MacFarlane did a pretty good job. It was a huge risk in letting him host, and indeed there were some inappropriate and risky comments, some very offensive comments indeed, but overall not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I'm still on a huge Oscar high. I'm just so in love with Sunday night. I thought everything went well. I saw some of my favorite people on the red carpet, heard some of my favorite Broadway tunes. It was awesome. And of course, the best part of the night had to be the fashion. A+ all around from me. First of all, I was blown away and completely impressed with all of the nominees, including the men, especially the men. But my favorites were probably everyone's favorites, I'm assuming. My top 3 favorites of the night were Jessica Chastain, Jennifer Lawrence, and Amy Adams, surprisingly. Jessica Chastain, as my newest girl crush, was an expected win, obviously, for me. She has nailed it all of award season, and why should the Oscars be any exception? She looked flawless once again in a champagne-colored gown with soft curls and red lips. And a lot of people were saying she pulled out like the whole Jessica Rabbit thing again. And that works for her. I mean, if it works, go with it. Again, bravo to you. #1 in my book. And what I liked most about her look was usually with a strapless dress, you need something in this area to kind of like help balance out the look, and she didn't need it. I mean, she had minimal jewelry, her earrings were gorgeous, but she didn't need a necklace, and I liked how that worked. Next, Jennifer Lawrence. What a doll, dazzled in her Dior gown. And at first, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it because the bottom was huge, and I was like, this could look too prom-y, too like bridal-y. But it definitely didn't. It wasn't too big for me. I thought it looked great on her. And apparently, I thought it was pink, but apparently it was white with blush undertones. And the best part about her look, I have to say, was the backwards necklace. It's such a simple concept, but for some reason, it just looks so edgy for something that seemed so weird at the time. I mean, have you ever thought, oh, hey, I'm wearing a necklace, just pull it back more? Totally new look. And it was amazing. And it was simple enough not to make a big deal out of itself like a lot of other celebs' jewelries did. But I loved it, loved her look, love her. Even though she tripped up the stairs, who even cares? Because like many things online would say, she's basically all our new best friends in our head. And for last, and unexpectedly, Amy Adams has my vote as top 3 favorite from the Oscars. And usually I'm never a fan of her on the red carpet. There's always one thing about her look, whether it's her hair, her makeup, her gown, her jewelry. And there's always one thing that holds me back from really liking her look. But I thought Sunday night she was spot on. I loved her gray gown, and she had such a nice swept back, pretty updo. It was like a messy kind of look in the front, but I thought it was gorgeous. And the gray color didn't wash her out like it would a lot of other people. So I thought it was just beautiful. And then the subtle ruffles on top with the huge flowing bottom. Ruffled skirt was just fabulous. Loved it all the time, and so glad she chose to wear that to represent her nomination. So congratulations to my top 3. Now let's talk about other big winners. Not just Oscar winners, but winners in general and in life, like Jennifer Garner, who looked fabulous as well on Sunday. Not only is she a super cool and talented person, but she is a mother. She just recently had a baby, and she has looked great all award season. Is married to an Academy Award-winning director with a perfectly healthy relationship, which is all I would want for my very first celebrity crush, Ben Affleck. Yes, he was my first celebrity crush. I'll never forget the first time I saw him in a People magazine. And Jennifer Garner's got style. Her plum-colored Gucci gown was gorgeous from the front, and then she turned around, and it's just a waterfall of ruffles. And it blew me away. I wasn't sure how I felt about it at first, but it's one of those things where it's like the more I looked at it, the more I loved it. I loved the whole funky, risk-taking looks on the red carpet, and I thought it went so well with her diamond necklace. Apparently that diamond necklace was $2 million worth or something, but she didn't ask what the price was because she didn't want to know, which is probably good. But overall, well done, Jen. Loved your look, loved everything about it. Love your hubby. All right, next we have Amanda Seyfried, which I think is how you say her last name. I've heard different pronunciations all over the place. The girl got her dress custom made, and it was so pretty. It's a lot of these gowns I'm figuring out were first take not so sure, but the more I looked at it, the more I fell in love with it. And what I loved most about her look and some others was the crisscross halter at the neck. It's so different and unique, but I love it, and it worked on her because she's so tiny. And just the long train, the colors, everything looks good on her. Again, it's one of those gowns where the color should have washed her out and it wouldn't have made a lot of other people look good, but with her makeup and everything, she pulled it off fabulously. And I really like this about Salma Hayek's dress too. It came up to the front because usually she's in real va-va-voom-y type dresses, but the high neck still accentuated her curves and made her look great. So since we're on kind of the Les Mis cast right now with Amanda, let's talk about Anne Hathaway. Her hair is growing back and it looked very pretty last night. And I can tell you, up until recently, probably within the past day or two, I really didn't like her dress. I love her. It wasn't until I saw Les Mis again and the recent stuff this year that I really liked her as an actress again. It's hard to take Mia Thermopolis and put her in like really serious roles. But I think she did a fabulous job. And the dress, honestly, I had no clue what to think. Part of me loves it because the color is so pretty and it's different. It's very 90s, as my roommate pointed out to me, with the high neck and like the whole straps thing. But the back, I loved the crisscross back, but then there was that tie in the back and it was just like dangling. It was like a strap. And then in the back it like cut short, and it was very complicated and confusing to me at first, but the more I look at her, the more I appreciate her as an actress and the more I like the dress. So like I said before, I'm so impressed with her performance in Les Mis, and when Les Mis performed at the Oscars, I'm pretty sure I've watched that part at least 10 times since Sunday, and it just keeps getting better and better. So I'm going to show a picture of the cast because it was amazing. And no one can get enough of Eddie Redmayne and his revolutionary friends. So you're welcome. Les Mis, great job. And now we're back to look at more dresses, and I'll get off of my Les Mis rambling. The next questionable ensemble I want to discuss is Zoe Saldana. Zoe can basically pull off anything. I think she's gorgeous, and she's so like kick butt and such a like cool person, but this dress really rubs me the wrong way for some reason. There was so much going on. First, I loved the color. It looked great with her skin tone, but it was just so weird. The top was like ruffly, which I was okay with. I was like, this is fine. And then I saw the bottom. I loved the bottom, the way it draped and the different materials and fabrics underneath. And then I saw the belt, and I was so like, no, Zoe, because it would have looked totally fine without the belt, but it was just very strange. And I had the worst feeling of guilt for disliking the dress because I like her so much, but it just wasn't working for me. Because she's one of those people where less is more, and she definitely didn't have to pull out all the stops with this. But either way, I mean, she still looked fabulous, but the dress just wasn't something I agreed with. Several trends of the night, like I was talking about the color of Zoe's dress, several trends had to do with color, and many celebrities chose to sport pale colors or dark metallics, kind of on both ends of the spectrum there. But a dress I loved was Kerry Washington's. It was unlike any other of the night, and it was the bottom of it was bright red, pink, and orangish kind of combo. And it was so, like I said, it was so different from any other dress I saw that night, and I loved the embellished top with her tiny belt. And usually I'm not a fan of the things Kerry Washington wears on the red carpet, and just in general a lot of the time. Fashion Police loves her because she is very different. She takes a lot of risks with patterns and stuff. And I'm still, like I've said before, I'm not a fan of the whole mixing patterns things just yet. But she really pulled this off, and I loved everything about her dress. Her hair was beautiful, and she did awesome with the whole Django Unchained thing. That movie did pretty well on Sunday night too, so that was very exciting for her, it was a great night, and she looked fabulous. For metallics, my girl Halle Berry outdid herself in her Versace gown, and it was beautiful. She told her designer, Versace, that she wanted to look like a Bond girl because she was representing the Bond girls in the Bond tribute. And she certainly did with this dress. I thought it was great, and joining her in the metallic trend was Naomi Watts, and whose dress caught everyone's attention. It was metallic, glittery. Not only was it all shiny, but the cut up top was such a funky design, and I loved it. I thought it was so cool, especially because it fit her right. That was one of the most important things. I remember People Style Watch tweeted that night that it doesn't matter how great the dress looks. If it doesn't fit right, then it's not going to look good, which is so true, because you could have the most gorgeous gown in the world, but if it doesn't fit like it did on Naomi Watts, then it probably isn't going to look right. But it definitely fit right on her, and I loved it. Loved it. A huge trend this season, along with funky cuts and colors, has been peplum, and it has worked well on many different people. Like, I remember I see Emma Watson in it a lot, and it looks great on her, and it worked flawlessly on Charlize Theron with her Dior dress on the red carpet on Sunday. I really hope this trend doesn't go away for a while, because I haven't had a chance to try it yet, and I see peplum all over the place, and I just want to buy it, but I hate going into dressing rooms, and so I always just don't get it because I'm afraid to buy it, because if it doesn't look right, then I'll have to go take it back, and it's just a lazy person in me not wanting to try it on in the store. Anyways, there are some people who should never try peplum. Charlize Theron should always try peplum because she looks great. Kim Kardashian, however, you are pregnant. You do not need to be wearing peplum right now. She tried it, and it looks awful, and there are a lot of things she wears that don't look good on her but will look okay on other people. But she has always been wearing these tight outfits with her baby bump if it's there. I'm just saying, when you're pregnant, you have every excuse in the world to wear like flowy, loose, boho chic, comfortable clothing, because your belly is growing every day. So why would you choose to suck it in some peplum? Why try to cover it? I mean, embrace it, like how Jenna Tatum did, Channing Tatum's wife did at the Oscars, because she looked great as well. And you would never, from the back, you would never think she's pregnant, which of course, that's fine. They have a lovely life. Anyways, along with peplum, among the celebrities, a new trend has emerged that I want to touch on a little bit, because seems a little controversial. I don't really know if I'm allowed to talk about this or what, but I'm going to anyway, is the side boob. A lot of celebrities have been embracing this kind of thing, and as commoners, I don't think it's good for us to embrace it just yet. Maybe one day after we graduate from St. Mary's and we're walking the red carpet ourselves, we can kind of sport a little bit, but for now, I'd probably say avoid it. That's just in my opinion, though. Anyways, off that topic, one thing I don't really discuss much on Style Watch is men's fashion, particularly because I am terrible at dressing men. Myself and women, I can handle. I can dress myself, at least I like to think I can. But men, not really my forte. But until recently, I haven't really even paid attention to men's fashion. But I've been taking a look at kind of what I would want my future husband, or I guess boyfriend, I need boyfriend before husband, to wear. And with the help of Pinterest and shopping for my cousin's birthday and Christmas presents, I've kind of kept my eye open for emerging men's fashion trends. And one thing I noticed on the red carpet for men are their bow ties. Bow ties has become the new norm. What at first was such a little quirky formal wear is becoming the norm. Like I said, a huge majority of men on the red carpet wore a bow tie instead of a traditional tie. And let me just say, this is a trend I fully support. I love it. And a lot of stars wore it. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Daniel Radcliffe, Ben Affleck, Abe Lincoln himself, Daniel Day-Lewis, Channing Tatum, Bradley Cooper. They all sported bow ties, with skinny ties coming in as a close second. So you didn't really see very many traditional ties on the red carpet. And it's such a fun accent to have with a tuxedo, in my opinion. It's just kind of fun, and it looks better than regular tie, in my opinion. Sally Field even had to help Joseph Gordon-Levitt with his tie, proving that even if they are more complicated, they are definitely more popular and more stylish right now, and they look a lot better because all the guys looked very good in their bow ties on Sunday. So bravo, men. You all looked fabulous. And I don't have a picture of her, but I wanted to point out a spotlight star from Sunday. It is Helen Hunt, who boldly told Ryan Seacrest to ask her what she was wearing, and she proudly stated H&M, and it blew me away because you all know I love H&M very much, and to see it represented on the red carpet at the Oscars nonetheless, hey, that's huge. And just the fact that it was her, she was nominated for something, and she was sporting an inexpensive line that anybody can really afford, so that was great. Bravo, Helen Hunt. You're representing us college thrift shoppers very well. So overall, I'm just going to say things that I thought worked and didn't work on the red carpet. A huge thing on the red carpet is hair and dress compatibility, because you could have the most gorgeous dress in the world, but if it, I guess, doesn't have the right fit, and if your hair doesn't go well with it, it's not going to look right. And I thought everybody did a great job with that on Sunday. And also, certain materials don't really work. There could be too much, too little. I know over this past season there have been people saying they don't like certain celebrities' dresses and gowns because there's been too much material, it's pulled in the wrong places, so that can really make or break a red carpet ensemble. What did work, at least for the Oscars, were pale colors. That was huge. Peplum, since it's been huge this season. Frill, metallic, and like I said, good fits. So just some things to take away and to think about if you're going to a red carpet event soon, or if you are going to maybe a formal dance or anything like that, just to keep those things in mind. But I hope you have enjoyed my thoughts and my excitement about the Oscars, because again, it was great. I'm probably going to leave here now and to listen to more Les Mis and just rewatch the Oscars because it was great. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you had as good of a night on Sunday as I did. And thank you for watching SMC Style Watch. From everyone here on Channel 2, have a fabulous day.